So I think we should just get going. Not as many people as usual. Um, I don't know. Maybe we should change the timing around, play around with the timing, or maybe even think about redoing the recording. Maybe remove the recording because everyone is depending on the recording. Just stick to minutes so more people join in. But yes, thanks to everyone who's joined in. Velvet Doctor, great to see you here. Shubs is also here. Shubs, let me know if you want to come up on stage or talk about anything. I can pull you up at any time. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in. For those of you who know, this is our town hall. This is where we talk about updates, community updates, project updates, and what is happening and all things good with Dabba. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. So, as you all know, on my screen, it's coming up as black. So, I just want to make sure everyone can see the presentation, right?
Working on my
Rumor,
end.
can you?
Yeah,
Sorry?
it's working on my end. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, it's just my buggy system. Yeah. With the between Twitter and Discord, the amount of bugs, spaces, and town halls is just ridiculous. Hey, Kong, thanks for joining in. Great to see you here. So what is the Dabba Town Hall? Like I said, it's a place for us to talk about project updates, what is happening, for you guys to ask your questions. Uh, we're gonna hope that this call is not longer than an hour. We should probably take bets at the top of the hour to see how long this call will actually take. We have quite a few things to go through today, so hopefully we'll get done soon. I'm going to aim for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but let's see how it goes. So make sure to grab a snack and be ready for a great conversation. So this will be recorded as always. This will be Rumor will be posting this on YouTube in the next 48 hours, along with the minutes, so you guys can look forward to seeing it over there. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. So, the first update we're going to be talking about is the guys have just returned back from China, from Shenzhen. Shenzhen is basically where we have all our suppliers and where we build a lot of our devices. We have finalized production and shipment for the Double Light V4. That's a picture over there. I like to call it the Lambo Dabba. It looks very streamlined and cool. So I think there are two final designs. This is one that I like, so I put this one on the screen. But I think in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to show off the actual final design of the new routers. So they look pretty sick. And we'll probably do a town hall in the coming weeks on just hardware. Maybe we'll get some of the hardware devs in on the call. They can break down what's going on with the hardware. Why is it so cool? Why does it look like a Lambo? And all that good stuff that goes along with it. We have our Weather XM units for the pilot deployment as well. So those of you who know, we will be running a pilot deployment with Weather XM. um, yeah, so we will be running a pilot deployment with WeatherXM. I think there's somewhere between 20 to 30 units that we got. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check on those numbers. But the the idea is we deploy this across India, test them out along with our managed deployment model for about a month, and move forward with projects like WeatherXM. Again, this is a pilot. This is not to kind of distract us from our own deployments as well. And considering that we're already deploying hotspots and infrastructure in a lot of these areas, adding on another deepen device like a WeatherXM device doesn't take away from anything. So this is going to be super exciting. Look for updates on this in the coming weeks as well. How many units have been ordered? Is it for season two? I'm not sure how many units we've ordered for this. These were the
Uh,
sample units
I think we
for
got around 30
the new
units from them.
Rumor. You're talking. I don't. You're muted.
Oh, sorry about that. We got around 30 units from WeatherXM, which will be deployed across Bangalore and as well as new locations across Maharashtra.
Yeah, but I think Velvet Doctor, I think you're asking about if we or the new order for season 2 devices. I think that's what you're asking. In terms of units, we pretty much have most of the units ready for deployment already. So yeah, I'm not too sure what is the exact number for this order. I think Shubh says he can answer. Okay, let's bring Shubhs on stage. Hey Shubhs.
Hey, morning, evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm like half sleep deprived, so pardon my, the breaks in between.
and and we're off to Singapore in a couple of weeks. It seems like the Dabba team is running on their own time zone at this point.
Yeah, man, like it's crazy right now. I didn't expect this coming every week, travel so much. Yeah, not used to it.
Yeah.
But said that, so let me answer well with doctor's questions quickly. So we have secured a supply line for 50,000 units. They'll be delivered in three batches, 10,000, 25,000, and the remaining would be coming as and when we confirm the order. So the first two batch have been confirmed with the suppliers. We have two different vendors, manufacturing units that we have signed up in China and Taiwan to mitigate our risk and dependency on one specific vendor. So we have one vendor in Taiwan and one vendor in China. We have secured the contracts and yeah, supply lines in place. The first batch of 10,000 units will be delivered in within 3 to 4 weeks of releasing the payment. So as soon as we cross 60% of season two sales, we would be issuing the PO to them, and the goods would be delivered in less than 3 to 4 weeks to us. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so super exciting, just having supply lines ready to go, and just it's now, you know, everyone's on a sprint to make sure everything is up and running. So yes, super exciting times ahead in the next couple of weeks for sure. On to the next. So the next update is Helio. So this is something that a lot of you guys have been asking for a very, very long time, and we've had a lot of these discussions for a while. So many of you know that you can purchase hotspots with USDC through Discord. It's not the greatest process. You have to raise a ticket, and then Rumor talks to the dev team, and then we assign the units. It's not the best process in the world. So we've teamed up with Helio to bring crypto payments to our checkout process. So this is super exciting. This also means that you will start seeing some of your favorite deepen tokens that you can use to purchase hotspots. More on that to come soon. And at Breakpoint, Karam will have a great announcement on that as well. But this is super exciting. This also opens up a lot of avenues for different things that we can do for tying in NFTs to discounts, so on and so forth. There's a lot of fun things that can happen over here, and also creating partnerships between different projects. Who knows, maybe you can buy hotspots with meme coins sometime down the line, right? You never know. uh, Velvet Doctor says, "Excellent. I hate banks." Yes, that's 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 why we're here in Web3, right? To make sure we can streamline all of this. So yes, super exciting news coming out of the payment gateway. Helio. Right now we're testing with the devs. I think most of the testing is done. They will be implementing it in the new checkout process, the new payment process that will be coming soon. I'm going to touch base on that in a couple of slides as well. But yes, crypto payments natively coming to the platform, and that is super exciting. And Helio also are great guys. We've been talking to them for quite a while. They support a lot of projects in Solana. They're pretty big on Solana as well. So having that that partnership within the ecosystem will also be very good for us too. Token 2049 plus Breakpoint. Yes, we will be at Singapore. At least I hope to be there if my visa comes through. So we're super excited to meet a lot of great people over there. I already know some people are going to be there, and I'm excited to meet all of you guys. If you are going to be at 2049 or Breakpoint, shoot us a message, DM us, DM me or Rumor. Let us know that you're going to be there. Karam, Shubs, and myself will be. Will be there, so let us know if you're coming by. We want to meet you guys. We want to catch up over some chai, maybe, in Singapore, and say hi to everyone. It would be a great time to catch up. Karam is going to be speaking on one of the main stages in Breakpoint, which is super, super exciting. A big shout out for Super Team for helping us make that happen. A lot of exciting announcements that he's going to be bringing to Breakpoint. We'll also be speaking at an IoTeX event, and other events. I'm not too sure about the IoTeX event, but there's a couple events that we're looking into that we're talking to people about. So I think over the next couple of days we'll be able to um, uh, share more details on a lot of these things. Volcom says, I'm watching from an airplane right now. Dedication. Yeah, man. You gotta get in on these town halls for that early alpha, right? Uh, so appreciate the dedication, on flight. Are you flying, between, are you going to any events? Is anyone gone to Korea Blockchain Week? Maybe that's why nobody's joining the call today. Maybe everyone's at Korea Blockchain Week. um, well, we Dr. Gotta admit for network school, so attending. Oh, nice! Congratulations, Velvet Doctor got into network school. That's awesome. Uh, but yeah, definitely would love to see you there. I definitely want to go to the network, the event that they're having there as well. I think it's a 1 day full day event, or 2 days. I'm not too sure. But they have some pretty cool events that are happening at Singapore also. So I'll definitely be going for that as well. So yes, if you're in Singapore, let us know. We'll be posting a list of events that we'll be attending, participating in, where you can catch us. I think over this weekend we can post our list, right? Rumor, we already have the list. We just need to clean it up, and we can share it with the community over the weekend. Okay, this is to Rumor, yes. So I'm going to hand it over to Rumor. Rumor has some exciting stuff to talk about in terms of socials and the creators he's been managing. So over to you.
Yeah, so over the time, since we started this program 2 weeks back, the Dabba Creators program. This was a bunch of guys who wrote about us through the Super Team Bounty. Uh, and we were like, you already have researched about us, you already like us. One thing that we've realized is anyone who does a deep dive into Dabba actually realizes the potential of the project, and they want to know more and want to write more and talk more about it. So we created this group. I think we spoke about this in our last town hall as well. Anyone of you are also invited to join in if you want to start your creator journey. With them, what we are doing is every week we are covering different themes of Dabba and creating content. uh, you can already see our Twitter has got a boost spike from it. It's a small boost. It's not it's but it's growing every day. And what we've done so far is, like, you can see, I mean, you'll see this on your timeline as well, right? Whenever you're checking our Dabba feed on Twitter, on the first week we covered proof of coverage broadcast. People made small tweets, broke down the interview that Karam had with them, different insights. A 45-minute video might not be the cup of tea for average Twitter user, right? So it's very important that you break it down into small snippets of information, and that's been a fantastic journey. So, like, we covered the proof of coverage podcast, we covered the Jup and Juice podcast, and every week I think we're getting around 10K additional impressions from these contributions that people are making. And that is adding some amount of value, not just through their content, but also, like, directly indirectly it adds value to the posts that we make from our official handle. Next week, probably we'll dive into some more memes, make this more fun, break it down, simplify, and put the message across so that more people can digest it easier. So yeah, again, anyone who wants to start this journey, drop me a DM and we can, like, work it out.
Yeah, the creators, the Dabba creators has been a great initiative. We have nearly 100 creators right now that Rumor is working with to kind of build out these funnels, and we're seeing some great engagement on the channel right now. Some great growth that we're seeing on the channel. So those of you who have been seeing our Twitter and our Discord over the last couple of months, you would have noticed that in the last month engagement has drastically increased across all channels. So that's really good. We still have a ways to go, and we are picking up the momentum on that, but we're on a good track. So good things over there on social growth. Site rework, yes. So we are reworking our website. Now, the reason we're doing that is our previous website didn't do a great job of explaining who we are, what is the product, what are you getting into. It didn't do a good job of explaining a lot of those details. So now, over the last, kind of 2 months of doing a lot of these podcasts, speaking to a lot of, people in the community, we have a lot more clarity on the narrative that people understand better and how to really portray these details. So we have a great site where we're going to be explaining all of these things in a very easy to digest manner, that should go live hopefully by breakpoint. We're hoping that we can launch it by breakpoint. But yes, keep a lookout for the new website that will be coming very, very soon. The next thing is drip. Yes, so for those of you who know Drip House, Drip House is, um, I would say, the biggest creator. How would you describe Drip House, Rumor? Like, what is your description for Drip House? You're the NFT guy.
I mean, it's an amazing platform to discover artists who are not just Web3, not just NFTs, but like creating artwork in various diverse ways. You have musicians there, you have dancers there, you have creators there. It's a platform to really tell your story and create a community around it. And that is exactly what we're going to do. That is exactly the initiative and the goal of working with Drip House. And since you're here watching this early, we also hinted about this quite a few weeks back. So do make your account over there. You need to make it's a simple setup. Just connect your wallet, and every day you get droplets to claim every 6 hours, and that is going to be useful when we launch this. So like that's a small alpha, and I'll let Don uh, get on the details of what we're doing with them.
Yeah, Rumor is dropping too much information before the campaign goes live.
You want them to
But
be ready for it. Be
you
prepared.
want them, yeah. So yes, for those of you who are joining in this call or watching this call, you heard the alpha first from Rumor. Make sure you create your accounts now, even before the drops happen, so you have your droplets ready for when that happens. So a bit of a wink, wink, nod, nod. Get ready for that. Now, I think the next question here that is on a lot of people's mind is, why Drip? Why are we even doing this thing? Like, how does this make sense? Drip is an artist platform. We're a deep in project. What is relation? And it's very simple, right? We want um, cool, fun ways to depict our project to Web3 communities, and we're using Drip as a way to do that. So basically, these NFTs, each NFT describes a particular part of our journey as a deepen project, and what we're doing is we're doing this in phases. So we have our first artist, Ayushi, who's made a collection of NFTs, right? And each NFT depicts a certain step of our journey in becoming the company of who we are today. So she's covered a couple of steps in our initial parts of getting started as a company. In about another, I would say, 1.5 to 2 months, we'll get our second artist to depict another part of our journey. And how this will basically work on Drip, and I'm not going to get too much into details, is there's going to be a leaderboard, and you have these kind of droplets that you use to kind of thank a channel, and you basically put in your droplets, and the people with the highest droplets get a certain NFT, and each NFT comes with certain traits that you can use for either buying hotspots, maybe even getting a free hotspot. I don't know, maybe something even more interesting. So make sure you start farming those droplets now itself on Drip. And yes, look out for that campaign. We have our sponsored campaign, which will be running next week. That is not the artist channel. The artist channel will probably go live sometime after Breakpoint. So the sponsorship you'll actually see from next week. You'll see that on the homepage of Drip. Drip has been, really cool. I've been talking to them quite a lot over the last couple of weeks to get our channel up and running and to, get everything going. So super excited to get that going. This will also should lead to a good influx to our socials and our community and spark some really interesting conversations. So super excited to get this going as well. Then the next thing, our next collaboration, and many of you guys have heard about DY Cats before, but we have collaborated with DY Cats for a legendary NFT and a community NFT as well. I don't know, do you call it a community NFT? What would you call the non-legendary NFT, or just an NFT?
Yeah, just an NFT, but like it's gonna be traits about our project, which will have our stamp on it. So you'll have our presence in these NFT communities going forward for sure.
Yes, yes, and this is super important because DY Cats is a small community right now, but similar to us, it's a very concentrated community. So you have a lot of people from a lot of deep in projects. In fact, if you want a glimpse of that, you can just look at DRSP's profile image. He's actually rocking a DY Cat NFT right now. So it's a great way to kind of get into that community. This will also include we're going to be having auctions weekly with DY Cats for our NFTs, and we're going to be having a banner on the NFT on the DY Cat site itself, so you can see that on the image I just shared as well. So yes, super exciting. Collaboration with DY Cats that should hopefully be up within the next, I would say, 2 weeks. Again, we're aiming to have it all done before Breakpoint. But yeah, super exciting, very fun project to be working with, and we will see that in the coming weeks. All right, on to the topic that is on everyone's mind. Jupe question mark. When Jupe, and I think the question has now gone from when Jupe to what Jupe, right? What is Jupe right now, right? That's kind of the question on everyone's mind. So for those of you who haven't been following, so I put a picture of Meow's retrospective on LFG, where he talked about uh, good things that have happened with LFG, bad things that have happened, and kind of the path forward for them. And this is what we've been talking about on the Discord also, that they're going through some internal restructuring and they're making a lot of changes internally. That's why the vote has been delayed so much, and this kind of confirms that. Now, what does this mean? So, what we understand is they are also hinting at the um, the next LFG uh, to not have a voting system. So, we're not really sure what that means. Uh, they've just hinted that it will be open for anyone to participate in, and the community can hop on board the projects that they like. But again, what that really means and how that really plays out is still a big question mark. And right now the only answer is we have to wait for a couple more weeks for us to get answers to this. So we just have to wait and watch. That's pretty much the most we can do on that side. So yes, Jupe is changing. There's some things that are changing with Jupe. We are waiting, we are watching, we are talking to Jupe, trying to get a better understanding of what is next. But it just looks like we have to give them the time to restructure this internally and portray this to the public and let us know how to move forward. So the next question then is TGE question mark. question mark, right? If since Jupe is kind of a big question mark, what next? And that is really really important because we need to TGE as soon as possible. And the common question that a lot of people ask every now and then is, when token? When is the token going to be live? And that's really important for us. For those of you who know how the model of the system works, the token is extremely important as part of that system, right? We need to hit mainnet as soon as possible. We need token launched as soon as possible. So to that end, we're talking to different dexes as well, to see, if Jupiter doesn't work out, what are the other dexes that we should go with, considering that the timelines we're looking at with Jupe. So we're getting some interest from a lot of dexes. Bonk is starting a new launch pad, which is supposed to be very similar to Jupe. When I say similar, I mean pretty much the same thing as Jupe in terms of, the structure and the voting mechanics. Everything is pretty much the same thing, but it's with the Bonk community. So that is something we're looking into as well. Again, these are conversations. These are conversations we're having with these communities. We don't know what will come out of it, or if that's the way we want to go. So we will keep talking to these dexes. We will weigh these options to see what would be the best route to take. And if we feel that we don't have a good dex launchpad to go with, then we will go with centralized exchanges for launch, right? If that's the path that we need to take. Um, Velvet Doctor, do we really want to go on a meme token community launchpad? I don't know if that is a good idea or not. I agree with you. So, like I said, Velvet Doctor, these are conversations, right? It's not that we want that, yes, we want to go on Bongpad tomorrow. They have they have a really big community. They have a lot of people who, they want to bring a lot of utility to their community as well. Now, is it a great idea? We don't know. That being said, it's not that we want to go with Bonk. These are some of the options that are out there. Uh, but this is a conversation. Bonk is just an example. That's not what we're really choosing. But yes, if we feel that, across these dexes, if we don't find a dex that we want to go with, then we would go for, centralized exchange only launch. Velvet Doctor Sex launch could be a better idea, I guess. Yeah, we agree. Again, these are ideas. So please do, throw in your opinions, on Discord, especially over the next coming weeks, as we are looking at these different dexes and these different launch pads. Like, what do you think is the best way to go about this? What are the launch pads you think we should be on? If there's certain dexes you think that would be the best fit for us. Shubs is having some great conversations with centralized exchanges as well. So yeah, I think the next couple of weeks is going to be very crucial in kind of defining that. But that's the path that we're going. Not sure how expensive it is though to launch on a tier one centralized exchange. Yeah, I mean they are pretty expensive, but let's see how it goes. I think there is a plan in motion on how we want to go about these launches, this launch. So once we have better clarity on that, we can share that with the community at large and have a more in-depth conversation. The point being is, our focus is on making sure we TGE as soon as possible. That is really important for us, as a project, and we're looking at all options available to see which is the best one to move forward with. um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. So quite a few updates, quite a few things to go through that we went through in terms of, all the way from, social growth, from, coming back from China, now, with the Helio payments, a lot of things that, are being worked on side by side. So the next month especially is going to be very, very hectic, especially with all the traveling that's happening as well. But yeah, super excited for the month to come and the next couple of weeks for sure. So now it's question time. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in chat. As always, if you want to come up and have a discussion with us, please feel free to come up and have a discussion with us. We are more than happy to to talk. Shrikant said, "How many devices are sold in season two so far?" So I think season two we're at around 1,500. I think we're kind of crossing that mark for season two. But yes, it's a little slow now, but we see sales picking up, especially over this month. Okay, we see Volcom and Velvet Doctor typing. A lot more people have been joining in the call later on. I think maybe we should have the call later in the day. Instead of starting at 9 p.m., maybe we should start at like 10 or 11 or something like that. Because even I've been noticing on like the spaces that we join on Twitter and whatnot are usually like really late. Like our space with Wolf is like 12:30 at night on Wednesdays, if I'm correct. So I don't know. Maybe we should, push this timing a little later. Would that be more helpful for you? Let us know. Does anyone know how crypto projects get added to Coinbase? Is that tier one sex that you can pay to be launched on? Yeah, it is a. I would say Coinbase is definitely a tier one. Um, yeah.
Coinbase is not going to happen immediately. The tier one, specifically Coinbase and Binance, these have certain. So I've been talking to all of these guys over the last month. So the kind of requirement that comes in both from the FTV side plus the community side plus where the project is listed. So it's going to take time. Their due diligence is pretty longer. So we have been looking at going through the Binance Launchpad as well. They have a Launchpad program similar to Jupe. So as Velvet Doctor said, we are exploring sex listing to be first, then going on to a DEX like Jupe. So that is the approach. We want the price discovery to happen, and to for that to be correct, getting listed on sex first is important. I've been talking to a bunch of them. Certainly, it is not going to be direct listing on a tier one platform, such as Coinbase or Binance to start with, but we will get there pretty soon as we roll out our sex plans going down the road.
Yeah, you guys heard it from the man himself. There's definitely a lot that goes into this, and making sure that we have a good TG is very, very important. Um, Shrikant says, I see 3K followers in your LinkedIn page. Maybe you can convert a few of them into Web3. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we we want to convert everyone to Web3 eventually. Uh, Rumor has been posting, a bunch of content on our LinkedIn as well. But we see a lot more engagement and traction on our Discord and Twitter, so that's where the primary focus is. But if we see more traction on LinkedIn, yeah, we would definitely, you know, uh, post more content over there as
Doc,
well.
Don, I would also like to add a point since the numbers came in over here about LinkedIn, right? One of the things that is going in our favor with these top tier exchanges, how many new users can a project bring to their ecosystem, right? That is one thing that is in our favor because whichever sex we go and talk to, and they really get excited about the prospects about how many new wallets we will enable on their platform once we get a listing on their platform. So this is one of the major criterias of shortlisting of the projects that any sex looks into, and it has a pretty high weightage in terms of shortlisting the project. So just wanted to highlight that since we're talking about sex and the user base, so that's really in our favor, that specific point. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And, especially with kind of the initiatives that we've been taking, we see a lot of those numbers tracking upwards across platforms. So we're in a good place. The next couple of months are going to be very crucial. We just need to keep the grind, and we'll be good. Velvet Doctor says maybe we can have the sales numbers live on Explorer too. It would be good to see the numbers the numbers go up. Yes, I completely agree. And this is something we're adding to the new UI update to the Explorer. So we have a UI UX update that's coming to the Explorer hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And the idea is to show a lot more relevant data. Things like, hotspot sales and stuff like that should be added with that iteration as well. So yes, that is something we will be adding. Velvet Doctor says, awesome. Binance or Coinbase listing can provide great traction to the token as well as for the project's trustworthiness for people outside of Deepin. For sure, yes. Just having that, like Shub said, that price discovery plus, people, learning about the project, being on good exchanges would definitely help with that. Amin is typing. Amin is typing out the Dabba cat. I mean, I saw that you asked to speak on stage, guys. If you want to come on stage, if you want to ask, a question in person, feel free to come up. Volcom7 is typing, so we'll wait for him to answer to ask his question. No pressure. Again, thank you guys for joining in. Whoever joined in, much later into the call. Great to see you all over here. Volcom, feeling pressure, no question. Okay. Thanks for everything you do. Yeah, I mean that's what we do. That's what we're here to do. Velvet Doctor want to come up and speak. Yes, I think we should keep. Let me just pull in Velvet Doctor.
Yep, go
Hey,
ahead.
Velvet Doctor, how's it going?
Hey guys, going good. Thank you.
Good to see you.
How are you guys
I was
doing?
just about to say, good. Uh, strong and alive. It's been a crazy couple of months. As you know, but
Yeah.
it's super exciting. It's the excitement of launching that is really keeping us going. There's a lot of good stuff happening. I was just about to say, we should probably just let Velvet Doctor be, part of the panel every time we do these weekly calls because we end with the conversation anyway, so might as well have you as part of the call from right from the beginning.
No, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on. First of all, to first say thank you to Shubs for answering all the questions on Jupiter. I have been irritating him for some time now. I'm like, oh my god. Shubs is like
Absolutely
every
not.
day morning
Thank
I
you
get up
for
and I
no,
see
no. That
bunch of
is that
questions.
is that is precisely what we need from our community to support in terms of creating genuine, content in terms of engaging content. So thank you for giving me that opportunity to answer your questions over there. So yeah, it works. It really helps us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I mean,
appreciate the
my basic
questions.
idea was to first, provide that particular content. Also, I had those questions genuinely too, but at the same time, I wanted to put it on Jupiter so that the what do you say? The content there gets improved, and then you see some the number go up basically, the chats and the other stuff. But I wanted to keep it genuine too at the same time, not just posting a good project or whatever. But those were the genuine questions I had. But instead of putting on Discord, I just put it on Jupiter.
Perfect, and that's awesome. We really appreciate that. You took the time to ask those questions on Jupiter. That's really important. That's the great thing about building in public. You get the good and the bad, right? You get people who are skeptical, you get people who are supportive, and people who are just generally curious. And I think over the last year, I think we've done a great job in kind of towing that line and making sure that that conversation is alive and not kind of shying away or deterring from anything. So please do go after those conversations. Please keep having those conversations. We're more than happy to have answer those questions.
No, I've been doing some deep dive also just into the tokenomics and other stuff. And the more I dig in, the more interesting it becomes for me. Actually, it's becoming for me, especially the business model, the tokenomics. Things are looking like super attractive. I wish I had some good chunk of money with me to, gobble up all those hotspots. Actually speaking, yeah, maybe I'll be waiting for some bull run to come in and then liquidate some and then buy some more.
Hey,
because yeah,
we have
lot of advantages actually with Dabba. And when I compare it with other deep in hotspots, I'm like scaling with Dabba is super easy. Basically, like if you have money, you can scale like crazy. That's why I was asking question to Shobs, like why aren't other whales buying up many hotspots, because you don't have to deploy anything, you don't have to find a host, you just buy and relax, like guys are there to do the work. I don't know, like yeah, i
yeah.
i I would imagine more people actually buying, and more sales happening. Yeah, maybe, not sure. Yeah,
So so
what to
I
do
think it's
there.
so I think it's a combination of narrative plus early project. I think we're definitely in a much better place than where we were 6 months ago. Because if you remember looking back to season one, it took some time to kind of sell out and figuring out who are the people to talk to, what is the kind of narrative, how people should understand us. So we've definitely matured a lot from there. Now that really doesn't mean we've reached there yet, right? There's still a long way to go, and
Right,
there's a
right.
lot of things that kind of feed
Yeah.
into this as well, right? The market not doing good right now, people not being able to wrap their head around a managed deployment model, right? Even if you even if you looked at the Jupe forum right now, you would have seen that there's an exhaustive comment from a community member who's like, uh, this doesn't make sense. And from a lot of deep in hardliners, it takes some time just to understand that narrative, which is kind of what we're working on as well right now. So it will take its time. When I say take its time, I don't mean like 6 months to a year. I mean like in the next couple of months. That's something that we're working on with the different outreaches that we're working on, the different content that we're creating to really promote that. So yeah, it is kind of an uphill battle in that sense. But I think we're taking it in stride.
Hmm. Yeah, no, makes sense. Thank you.
No problem. Anytime. As always, happy to have you up here. Any other questions? Anything else you want to ask or talk about?
No, I think I'm good.
Nice, nice.
Maybe, as you said, like maybe from the decentralization point of view, people might be a little more skeptic about it, because just one particular organization is deploying it across. But maybe we can highlight saying that there would be like multiple LCOs, not just Dabba deploying this, but it is decentralized in a way where the LCOs will be coming in. And maybe like once more and more LCOs keep coming in, maybe people would realize that okay, this is not exactly like only one company doing this,
Exactly.
but there are like multiple people taking. It's like even in helium, right? Like there are people, and there are companies who kind of buy like hundreds of hotspots and they do deploy. So
Yeah,
it's not like every hotspot is being deployed by one person. Like even like
exactly.
basically I did like 50 hotspots in helium. So
Right.
yeah, so that's what I think. Maybe we can highlight that particular part of it, saying that no, 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 there will be multiple LCOs who will be doing this,
Yeah.
because they are the experts for this. Yeah.
Definitely agreed. That's part of kind of the education of what is happening and how it's happening. So a lot of those points definitely need to be highlighted, right? That there are different stakeholders. It's appealing of different layers and decentralizing these different layers as we go, and how we're going about that. So I think we're in a good place
And
over there.
is there any pathway, or is there any possibility where an individual can also do this, or as of now it's not on the cards? Like
No, it
it'll
is.
take
It's always been
time for
on.
that to happen.
So it will take time for that to happen. It's always been on the card. Self deployment and having people getting the hardware in their hands has been on the cards. It'll take some time for that to happen because we want to make sure the network is up and running. We have managed deployment out there, and we're getting the work done for that. So it's not that we're completely ignoring that, and it's also important to note that we have other products that will be coming out along the way. Especially within the next year. So managed deployment will be an important part of the model, but it won't be the only part of the model.
So I would like to add to what
No,
Mohan
the
said.
and the most go on, Shiv.
Us,
Yeah, so what I want to add over here is we would be definitely opening up self-deployment. We have to understand two things over here. The problem that we are solving is bringing up connectivity to greenfield markets, right? Where connectivity does not exist. People are willing to pay, but they're not getting the devices deployed because they don't have the upfront capital to deploy, right? If we immediately open up the the self-deployment model, what
Correct.
we will see is people will game the system where they will deploy it on top of their existing router and essentially just mine the early tokens where we the tokens are available in abundance and they will just dump and exit the whole thing. So to avoid these, to answer these two things, we have cautiously
Mm,
decided that we want to be doing this a meaningful project, a long-term project where actual connectivity is required, where we can add value, grow the network, and of course, once these pockets we create, the network will get filled with the existing deployer once it is a stable project in terms of both size and the reliability of the project. We would be definitely opening up to increase the numbers. Plus, by then we should have better measurements, better controls in the network where gaming the system will not be as easy as it could be on day one. So that's the thought behind to cautiously have this managed deployment model and bring connectivity where paying customers are there.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the important thing, right? Just making sure that we build a robust system that's catered to an end consumer, right? To make sure that it's solving the problem that needs to be solved. I think that is super important. Shrikant says, "Hey, reach out to Unchained and Beer Biceps podcast. Beer Biceps, yes, there are great podcasters in India. I think we should definitely, find ways to get on some of these popular podcasts in India as well. That is definitely something we are looking at as well." Sorry, Velvet Doctor, did you have anything else you want to add to that? Any other questions that you want to go through as well? Okay. Super. So we're at 9:52. My guess was 30 to 45 minutes, so I was a little over. But yeah, I think these calls are super exciting. I love having these calls with the community, answering questions, talking to everyone, and going through project updates. As always, if you guys have more questions, make sure to drop it in the general chat or any one of the channels on Discord. We are always active and answering those questions. Keep a lookout in the coming weeks for the for the updates that we just talked about on this call. There's a lot of great stuff that's going to be happening. So yeah. Exciting couple of weeks ahead of us. Thank you all for joining in on Town Hall number 9. And yes, looking forward to seeing you all in person at in Singapore. Hit us up if you're coming by, and we will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay happy, and have a great week, everybody. Thanks, and bye bye.